avoid. Wow. It's doing an excellent job. Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do the first look, show you how to set up for the first time this ECOVACS N20 Plus robot vacuum cleaner. Now I did buy this with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video. In this video, we're going to connect it to the ECOVACS app. We're going to map our house. We're going to go through the settings, but then we're going to see how well it cleans. Now, the reason I've got this robot vacuum cleaner is I've had a lot of questions for what's the best bagless robot vacuum cleaner. So almost all the robots that I recommend have bags, but I've been getting a lot of requests for bagless, so I've had to buy a few. I've got a couple Shark robots, but I think there are some that are better. I just did the review on the Eureka E20. It's just okay, but I haven't picked my winner yet. So right now, this does not have a Just a Dad sticker seal of approval. As you'll see, the ECOVACS X9 Pro Omni over there does not either. So got pretty high standards. Let's see how it goes, but I won't test the mop in this video. In this price range, so I bought this used off Amazon for like $217. It's in really good shape. Retails for $550. That's way too expensive. It is on sale right now for $312. So a $300 robot that vacuums and has a bagless dustbin, that's reasonable. So that's why I end up purchasing it. If it can stay around $300, I'm on the hunt for the best robot vacuum cleaner that's bagless. Now, this just drags the mop pad. It's what I tell people is they're like, oh, I don't want one that mops. Well, unfortunately, all the ones nowadays are like, they're just throwing mops on these. These aren't really worth anything. When you want a robot to mop your house, you do have to go up to about the $400 range. I've got lots of videos on that show Mova, Dream, and Roborock all sell some robots with base stations that wash the mop pads. And those are true mopping robots. These just don't do a very good job. So I'll be showing you how it works and everything. But mainly, I'm doing these videos I'm going to tell people, well, this is a great robot. I know you don't want the mop, just don't install it. Unfortunately, they just don't make a whole lot without these. They just love to throw these on there and call them combo units, but they're really not combo units. They do a decent job of vacuuming, but mopping is just, they need to have more advanced features that I recommend. And you can see all the robots that I approve of on my website, justadadapproved.com. It's a brand new website I've got. I do use links, so I'll put a link in the description. You'll see a link pop up in the video. That's from YouTube. And you'll also, on my website, if you click on the link, I'm an affiliate with Amazon, Walmart, and YouTube. If you click on those links, the products don't cost you anymore, but I do get a small commission from the sale. It's a way of helping support my channel. That way I can continue to do these honest reviews. And when I find out what is the best bagless robot vacuum cleaner, I'll put it on that website. Right now, I don't have one on there. That's why I'm doing all this extensive testing. But here's the catch. So this is $300. For $400, you can get a Dream L10S that does a much better job of mopping, vacuuming. It does have a bag, so that's why I'm doing these videos. So for $400, you can get a robot that actually vacuums and mops at the same time. Okay, so this robot is a robot that can vacuum and mop at the same time. It is bagless. So the robot, I love that it has LiDAR navigation. We're going to connect it to our smartphone and have it map our house. Now, there's a few things. Let's put it together first. So right here, we got to lift this up, take this off. This prevents the bumper from moving in and out. Now, there is a sensor on the front now. This is going to not avoid obstacles that are low to the ground. So if it's tall enough for the LiDAR to bounce something off of it, it's going to do a pretty good job of avoiding it. But if it's low to the ground, it's probably going to run it over unless the bumper can activate it. But because it has LiDAR navigation, it's going to map your house and then it's going to vacuum in nice straight lines. Now, whenever this is vacuuming, everything's going to go into a dustbin in here. And then it's going to back up to this. And this has an auto empty dustbin. So there's another vacuum's going to kick on in here, suck everything out into this bagless. So this is a bagless base station. So everything's going to go in here. You'll be able to see it. And then whenever you need to empty it, you're just going to lift this up. The bottom drops out and then you can empty everything out. Now, this is like a ramp. We got to install it. It's simply just put the base station like that. And now it's going to sit on the ramp. Around back, the power cord is permanently attached. It's 2-prong and it's 6 feet long. Now, this does consume 8 amps whenever it's auto emptying the dustbin. 120 volts, 50 or 60 hertz. There is a power switch here. So make sure it's in the line position. That's on, that's off. So we want the line. Front to back, you're looking at about 17 inches. Left to right, 14 inches. Height, 15 inches. You have to lift it up not very high at all to get the dustbin out. And again, down here, this is like an alignment. This is where it's going to charge the robot. And here's where it auto empties the robot. Okay, let's take a look at the dustbin. There is a filter in top here. So you're going to rotate this. You'll have to clean this filter, but normally you're just going to press this and the trap door, everything comes out. Now it does have cyclonic action, so the dirt and debris are not going to get stuck up against the filter there. So rotate this. This is a reusable filter. There's really nothing there, but take these two filters out. That's a foam filter. You can rinse these, but you got to let them dry, and they dry better in the sun. And then you can take this all apart. So open this up. This does come out so that you can clean all of this. Put it back together. You'll just have to clean this about once a month or once every couple months. Put that in, close this, put the first filter in, and then the white one on top. Find this, start in the unlocked position, rotate it to the locked position. Then kind of rotate, put that in first and rotate it in. All right, let's measure the robot. It's right at 13.5 inches. Height, now again, this is like a cover for the LiDAR. It is 4 inches, well, maybe 3 and 15/16, but right at 4 inches tall. Let's just take a closer look. Again, there's that front sensor. There may be a piece of tape on there. Mine doesn't have that. I like that it has 3 physical buttons. We got a power button, home button, and a spot clean button. The power button you can use to start and stop it and pause it. So if it's bothering you, you can just pause it or tell it to go home. A side sensor here. And then this is where it charges. This is another sensor to help it back up. And there's where it auto empties through. So let's take this off. This is where the dustbin, there is a Wi-Fi reset button here. As it vacuums your house, everything's going to go into this dustbin, okay? Right from there. And it's going to go right into here. And then it gets auto emptied through this trap door. You are going to have to clean this filter every couple weeks, you know, sometimes every month. But take this filter. It is reusable. So you're going to rinse it off. Then you have to let this dry in the sun. Put it back. Make sure the handle's up. Then rotate it down. And then we're going to turn it over. Okay, so here's the mopping attachment. We'll go over the dustbin here in a second. This is also a water tank, and it has a water pump that's going to squirt water out in these holes right here. So again, you've got to take this on and off yourself. Okay, it just snaps in like that. It does have a carpet sensor, but it's not able to move this up or down. It's just going to avoid carpet. It knows when the mop pad's installed, but it can't lift it up and down, and it can't press it down. So when it's vacuuming, it's just dragging the mop pad on the floor, but it is keeping it wet. But it is a good idea to pre-wet it before you start. And then after this captures the mud, you've got to take this off, and it comes out of this track, okay? And then you got to put this in your laundry and clean it. Then when you get a clean one, I like it does have a nice opening. It goes in. This is a very easy to change mop pad. Yeah, let's take a look at this. I forgot to show you this. This is the water tank. So you're going to fill this up with water. It holds a little bit of water. And again, there is a water pump in there that's going to pump water out those right through there and then through those 4 holes right there. So to fill it up, you got to take the water tank off. Here's the drive wheels. Here's the single brush for vacuuming. Now there is a comb down here that's going to try to help with long hairs. Now this is a single piece roller. You may get some hair wrap around it. That comb does try to help. It's got bristles and kind of like some hard plastic. Let's put the side in. Again, it all comes together. I'm just showing you. Put the door on, click it into place. Single side brush, it just spins. It doesn't extend it into the corner. This free spinning wheel, there's your carpet sensor. Here's your cliff sensors. So about every 30 hours, you're gonna have to clean these windows. This is so it doesn't fall down your stairs. Okay, let's put it up against the wall. I've got the dock plugged in. We got a white light. We got to scan that here in a second. So let's dock it. Okay, and then those lights are going to come on and it should say charging. And now let's get the app. Now, I do have a concern about this, is the filter. Normally, when you have bagless, I typically like a HEPA filter. I don't think that's a HEPA filter. But you know, then these bags aren't HEPA filters. When they have a bag, they're not HEPA either. So I don't know. Shark has HEPA filter on their base station. Okay, you've got to get the ECOVACS app. You'll have to create a username and log in. It's free to use. So here's the home page. I've got several other ECOVACS. So here, scan to connect. So you have to give it access to your camera. You're going to go down here and you're going to scan that code. All right. You got to enable location services. All right, looks like we got to scan it again. I had to enable location service. Okay, so when you scan, you can select your Wi-Fi, give it your Wi-Fi password. It only works on 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, then hit next. Now, this next step you don't need to do. We've already turned it on because we docked it. So just hit, it's already turned on, hit next. We need to release the hotspot. So we got to press the little button here on the side. So press this button right here.
Ready for network
okay.
setup.
Now go back, I've pressed it, hit next. Now the robot's transmitting a Wi-Fi signal. This tablet or your iPhone, this is an iPad Air, has to join that transmitted Wi-Fi signal. Now, hopefully the tablet will go back to your normal Wi-Fi. Briefly, okay, yeah, good, we're done. It's connected. The robot's speaking to me. All right. So it looks like everything's working good. That light is flashing really fast, but this should all be automatic. It said network connection successful and that light is on steady now. Okay, let's go back to the app. Give it a name. That's fine. Downloading a plugin. We're going to do any updates that need to be done. All right, time zone. I think I'm on Chicago time, but I don't. Oh, it's synchronized with the phone. That's fine. Okay, hit enter. There it talks about the reservoir. Got it. Okay. You can just start mapping your home, but I want to check for updates. Hit the little gear icon. About. Update. So there is a newer version, 1.34. I'm going to turn this to auto, but I'm going to do the update now.
Updating. Please do not.
Okay, update's done. Yeah, here, got it.
Start charging.
Okay, so we need to map our home. We're going to start mapping our home. Hit map your home. Turn on your lights, open doors.
Start mapping.
Now, it does have LiDAR navigation. This is going to be really cool. It's going to undock. It's going to randomly go through your house, and then it's going to create the LiDAR in real time. This is so cool how it does this. Keep getting this pop-up. There's the map. Now, it is going to, it is vacuuming where it's going, but it's just a random pattern. So make sure your doors are open. Put your furniture where it normally goes, and you may have to pick up like kids' toys and stuff. But here is the map in real time. And then when we're done, so you can even see where the robot is, and this will change. We'll edit the map, and then we'll do our first cleaning. Okay, so that did not take very long. Here's the map. Let's give it a name. Let's call it this is the studio. Save, and then let's go. It did a good job of mapping. I'm kind of excited about this. I'm really anxious to find one for this $300 price range that vacuums only, bagless. This was a really popular question during Prime Days, and I will be featuring a video of what my test results are. Okay, it kind of hiccuped there. I had to press something again, and then it started cleaning. I had to stop it, so not sure what happened there. I just wanted to save the map. So let's go into the map right here. let's edit the map. Virtual boundaries. There's no entries and no moppings. Okay, we'll go. These are no-go zones. But first, we want to do divide. So if you need to divide a room up, which I do, click this room, and then you're going to get a blue line. You got to move this blue line till it's solid. If it's dashed, it's not going to do it. So there, I want to divide the room right there. It's not going to do it there. And it should make two separate colors. Yeah. And then let's go in. You can merge rooms. Let's go back. You can merge combine rooms. So if you have too many rooms, you can combine them into one. This is what they are. A little different. So this is room 3. This is a... So let's just say it's a laundry room. Can I change? Oh. That's the corner. Okay, so doing that, I can do corner. I can give it a specific name. There, it calls it. Okay, so that's a little tricky. This one here, I could just give it an icon. You know, this is the dining room. This one here is a bedroom. And this one here is a sunroom, you know. Oh, this one here. You can give it a specific name by just clicking that, give it an X, and then call it the storage room. Hit save. So take your time here, get the map right with the rooms. This will help in the future. It just makes it a lot easier if you take your time right now and divide up the rooms accordingly. All right, so let's go back. Now let's do virtual boundaries. So, and you can add these later. So you may want to see where the robot's getting stuck. Robots inevitably get stuck. You'll have cables on the ground that you didn't know of. These things find places to get stuck. So when you find a place that it's going to get stuck, I'm going to add a rectangle. This is called a no entry or a no mopping. Let's do no entry. So I do have a computer back here in this back room here. This is approximately where it is. I can make this as big as I want. And then hit the check mark. The robot will not enter that box. You can't put it around the base station, and don't put it, you know, at an entry to a room. You can make it linear, like a line, if it's easier. And there is a no linear line or mopping line. So let's do a rectangle. Let's do, now this does have a carpet sensor, and I don't know if it's going to show us where the carpet is because there's a bunch of carpet right here. You may want to fine tune this. So if you find that it's mopping a rug, you can kind of add this in that area. It's a little tricky because the measurements and stuff, it's very basic in a map. So you can fine tune those later as you see where it's giving you problems. So that's all the map editing. Let's go back. And if you ever need to find it again, it's right here. No, that's layout. Right there. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't display the map. There it is. Hit enter. There's the map. Should always display the map with your no-go zones and stuff. So let's go into settings. I'm going to give you my recommended settings. The cleaning log, this is where you're going to find out where it's cleaned. Put it on a schedule. I recommend having these things clean your house once a week. Maintenance, this is where it's going to be time to change the side brush, main brush, filter. That filter, you're going to have to clean that filter every couple weeks. Under 20 hours is just when it needs replaced. Wash mop is okay. I don't know how I could tell that. 150 hours, I guess. And the filter in the dustbin. So it gives you a time limit on the filter in the dust in the bagless. Okay. Sequence. Oh, I love cleaning sequences. So this is when you have it clean your entire house, what order do you want it to do your rooms? So I want to do this one, then this one, this one, then this one. I love that feature. Roborock doesn't even have that on some. Intelligent settings. Auto empty. Perform auto empty after the cleaning is finished. Suitable for relatively clean environments. If you have pets, I recommend putting this on extra. It's probably going to travel back midway between cleaning and auto empty. I'm fine with that. Now this one can get annoying. Suction boost on carpet. Now you want these robots to clean carpet, but this thing has a carpet sensor on it. So anytime that it's on carpet, it's going to ramp up the suction to like full power. This ECOVACS, I have noticed it is a little noisy. So if it starts to annoy you, you can turn that off. That's all the intelligence settings. Okay, more settings. Oh, that's off. I do recommend turning this on. These things will start, well, I recommend putting auto resume on, because if the robot runs out of juice, it'll go back, recharge, and start up. But if you don't turn do not disturb on, it could start in the middle of the night. So turn this one on. There's child lock, and area unit is square feet. Language, English, and it is a little loud. I may turn it down.
Okay, the volume is adjusted.
There's where you change the name. There's where I did the update. I would put that to auto. Wi-Fi, time zone. All right, this is relatively simple. Help and find my robot. If you ever can't find it, click that. But usually it's sleeping and it doesn't work. All right, excellent. Now let's explain. There's the station. If we want to do an auto empty the dustbin or manually, we can press that button.
To start to empty the dustbin.
This is what it's going to do when it cleans your house. It's a little loud, but not too bad. And it'll stop automatically. So auto means it's going to clean all your rooms in auto. Let's scroll up like this. We can do 4 levels of suction power, 3 levels of water flow, but I don't have the mop pad installed. I think it knows if the mop pad's installed. 1 or 2 passes. Interesting, we can't do... Let me install a mop pad. Now this is something you're gonna have to do. This is how you mop with it, so you'll have to put this on and off yourself.
Switch to vacuum and mop mode.
Then you have to kind of redock it. I'm curious if we can do, scroll up. So there is no mop only, there is no vacuum and mop in auto. Let's try rooms. No. So basically, you're going to be in charge of when it mops by taking the mop pad on and off. Which is, I guess, nice. So I'm going to take the mop pad off. I want to vacuum only.
Switch to vacuum only mode.
Yeah, and the robot tells me that, even though it doesn't.
Install the vacuum module first.
And I don't really get something here that says I don't have the mop pad installed, but the robot did tell me it was in okay, right there, vacuum mode only. Okay, it's starting to make more sense. We can do a zone, so you can pick a zone, you can add another zone, I think. Yeah, add more zones, and then you could tell it how to clean those. Rooms, and then auto. Okay, very simple settings. I actually kind of like this so far. Okay, let's do a zone clean. I got this area here that's so right there we're going to clean this carpeted area. And we're going to scroll up. I'll change the suction power as we go. Let's go to high, 2 passes, and start.
Start cleaning custom cleaning area.
Defaults. Ooh, that thing's loud. Okay, we're gonna see how well it cleans up this big mess on the carpet. I do have a kid's toy. We'll check obstacle avoidance. The first thing it's gonna do the perimeter of the room first. Then it's gonna go back and forth and make the nice straight lines. Pretty good job of vacuuming. It doesn't have a side brush that it can extend. And the vacuum part is only right here, so it's not able to get up right next to the wall. Okay, so now it's going to go back and forth and make the straight lines after it's done the perimeter. Now in the app, we can see right where it's vacuuming. I've got it vacuuming inside that blue box, which is a zone cleaning. doing a good job of vacuuming. And I do have it set on 2 passes. And we do have a bunch of long hair in here for testing. Now again, obstacle avoidance, if it's a cable, it's probably gonna run a cable over that's really low to the ground. But for bigger things like shoes, it is able to avoid. Wow. It's doing an excellent job. So yeah, there it sort of sees the toy, but not really. So you are gonna have to keep things picked up. Unless it's like everyday items that are a little bit bigger. So you just can't, that toy's not quite tall enough. If it was tall enough for the LiDAR to hit it, then it would avoid it. Wow, it did a really good job. Now it's gonna come back and get this area. Excellent job. Wow. And again, we can see the cleaning pattern in the app. Okay, so now it's going back and forth the other way. Now it doesn't do the perimeter of the room on the second pass. But this carpet is really, really clean. Okay, let me change the suction power. There's strong. There's standard. And there's quiet mode. Ooh, quiet mode is really quiet. Standard. Strong, max. We'll go back to strong for the rest of this carpet. This carpet is almost clean. Got a little bit more to go, but wow. This did a fabulous job. This is going to get a Just a Dad sticker seal of approval. I love it. I thought it did a great job on this carpet. We're going to check the auto empty system now. And this is a bagless base station. So you don't ever have to get a bag. You don't have to buy a bag. You just got to clean the filter. Okay. When it came off the carpet, it did leave a little bit that it was dragging along. All right, here it comes back to the base station and it's going to auto empty.
Start charging. About to start to empty the dust bin.
Wow. That was pretty incredible. Okay, so this gets 2 Just a Dad sticker seals of approval. So I love this. We're going to empty that out. Let's just verify everything. Oh, wow. That's perfectly clean. And there's nothing there. Okay. I know we did get a little bit of stuff when it went from transition. So we do have some hair. I'm okay with that. This is all about price point. You've got to get into $500 robots before they have the split rollers. So I'm okay with that. That's fine. You'll have to cut that off eventually. We didn't get any hair wrap there. This is good. Now, very, very impressed with this. Let's do a little bit of mopping. I'm just too curious now. Let's add some water. Not sure how big the tank is. It's actually pretty big. Wow, much bigger than I thought. I could add more. I went like that and wow, pretty big tank. And again, I do think this helps if you can pre-wet this. Okay, let's empty this, see how that goes. Wow, I mean, kind of messy emptying it, but it did a good job. Wow. I'd say that carpet is extremely clean. Again, I don't see a whole lot at all. It doesn't do the perimeter of the room twice, and it's not able to get up next to a wall, but that they don't advertise that. Okay, so I wiped that off, but I did wet it. All right, so we've got to add this. We got to add, so there's a little bit of work. You know, you don't want to go over $400 for the amount of work you're doing. This is a $350 robot that I would definitely approve of. When you get to the Dream L10S, you don't have to do any of this. So yeah, we got to back it up. Okay, let's go clean the world famous Just a Dad Studios corner test. Again, I got this used off Amazon. This is L40S. This just came in. This is like a $1,600 robot. All right, let's get out of its way. So we're gonna mop the world famous Just a Dad Studios. I've got the suction on really low, so. Okay, we're gonna see how well the ECOVACS N20 Plus is gonna mop up these muddy paw prints. So the first thing it's gonna do the perimeter of the room. So we do have some long hairs. Yeah, pretty good job of cleaning. It's vacuuming and mopping at the same time. Okay, after it does the perimeter of the room, it's going to go back and forth and make the nice straight lines because it has LiDAR navigation. And I do have it on its highest setting for wetting the mop. And it is laying down some good water. Now those muddy paw prints are dried on. And I do have it set where it's going to do 2 passes. So for everyday mopping, you know, if you don't have, as long as you don't have a big mess, it's going to do a pretty good job. But that's a pretty tall order for a robot like this. It does have an onboard water tank that I filled up, and it does have a water pump that it can squirt water on top of the mop pad to keep it wet. Now it can't raise and lower the mop pad. It's just dragging it along. It doesn't press it down. So yeah, it's doing it. Yeah, those are pretty tough stains. So it's not going to be able to get these muddy paw prints. But again, for everyday light mopping around your floor, it's going to do an okay job. It does have a carpet sensor on it. That way it will avoid carpet when it travels to and from where it needs to mop. Okay, it's on the second pass. Kind of what I thought. I mean, that's a really tall order for a mop. Even some of the really expensive ones can't get that dry stuff up. But it's really scraping. Yeah, it's pretty much full. And it doesn't feel like it's keeping it all that wet.
Switch to vacuum only
But
mode.
I guess it is. It's just a little hard to see. But
Please install the vacuum module first.
it's filled up with dirt.
Task ended.
Nope, not end.
Switch to vacuum and mode.
So again, this is going to be a recommendation for vacuum only. For everyday mopping, if you want to go through the hassle of putting that on and off, it could kind of keep up with some just light dust around your floor and maybe keep it nice and shiny, but it's not going to clean the floor. Yeah, and see and then you're going to run into when it has to travel to and from the dock, it's going to avoid carpet to get to the docking station. So if there's carpet between this and that, you don't want that dragging on your carpet. So again, the L10S, it's $400 right now, and it can lift the mop pads up and down. Now I do like that it has this tray. And we'll get an auto empty again, and it's just this has got Just a Dad sticker seal approval. I'll put it on my website, justadadapproved.com. Again, don't be afraid to buy used off of Amazon. I think I got this like 200 and some bucks. And it looked fine. I mean, you could tell somebody had used it, but Amazon cleaned the filters. I mean, I think they replaced the filters in the brush roller. So I just finished up on 2 Costco Robo-Rocks, and I've got the T50 Pro Omni. I will be doing a review on this. I bought it during Prime Days. I got it pretty cheap. And I just brought these from my house. We're going to be doing the 3-month real world, well, this is 6 months, and how to clean these. So these performed flawlessly. Dream L10S Gen 2, love it. Mova P10 Pro, love it. Dream L40. I'm going to be showing you how to do all the maintenance on these and the real world testing results. So I still have the ECOVACS X9 Pro Omni. It's just, I've used it now for 2 weeks. It's not going to get a Just a Dad sticker seal of approval. I don't have a bad unit, I'm pretty sure. It just, in my opinion, it's too big. The cleaning pattern is just off. Obstacle avoidance is just off a little bit. Again, it may, if this was your only robot that you've ever had, it might seem like a really good one, but I've just had so many that perform so much better for a cheaper price point. That's why it's not going to get my sticker seal of approval. And again, the whole reason behind this was looking for ones that bagless. I didn't realize that was such a... So I have a lot of Shark robot vacuum cleaners. This is the bagless one I recommend, the white one. This is $300, doesn't mop, very basic, but this will be a stiff competition between that one and the ECOVACS. But don't pay more than $300. These are not, none of these, well, that's a different robot. That's a mopping one. But none of these are more than, they may say $500, but when they are just vacuum and LiDAR, only $300. And again, the Eureka E20. This is bagless, and I'm going to be comparing it. I've just been doing some preliminary tests with it. I did the setup in the first look. It's okay. It's a little quirky. Eureka app is just a little off. Setup was a little off. You know, I get that feeling of like, it just isn't smooth. And I took the Q10 S5 Plus to my house to do real world testing. So this was a highly recommended robot from me. I'm hearing some grumbling about it in the comments. I'm going to take it to my house, make sure it returns to the dock. I know these things don't perform the best on carpet, but this was a $300 robot that during Prime days that vacuums and mops, but it does have a bag, which I prefer bags. I mean, all of the robots that I love have a bag. They just, to me, it's so simple. You know, you just pull this out, put a new one in, there's no mess. When you have bagless, you have filters. So with bagless, you'll have filters that you have to clean. Now, those filters are reusable. So again, I really appreciate it. This video would not have been, I would not have made this video unless I had so many comments on robots that just vacuum and are bagless. That's kind of a big area, I think. Again, this has a mop. Just don't use the mop. They're not going to come out with, they love throwing a mop in there and saying it's a mopping robot, and it's not. So again, I really do appreciate everybody's support. JustADadApproved.com. If you could, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.